This video serves as a follow-up to our Destroy the Machines video. In that video, we have not emphasized enough the disruption automation causes to jobs and standards of living, which this video will address. While it eventually led to remarkable advancements in living standards and economic prosperity, the early stages of the Industrial Revolution were marked by significant disruptions and challenges that did lead to a decrease in jobs and living standards for many people. The introduction of machinery and new manufacturing processes often displaced traditional industries, such as handloom weaving, small-scale agriculture, and artisanal crafts, leading to widespread job displacements. Many skilled artisans, craftsmen, and workers found themselves replaced by machines or facing lower wages as demand shifted to factory-produced goods. This displacement resulted in unemployment and underemployment for many workers, contributing to economic uncertainty and social unrest. As industries centralized in urban areas, there was a massive influx of rural workers into cities seeking employment. This rapid urbanization led to overcrowded living conditions, poor sanitation, and inadequate housing. Factory workers often toiled for long hours in dangerous conditions, leading to low living standards and widespread poverty. The shift from small-scale production to large-scale factories increased the power of factory owners over workers. Factory owners prioritized profits over worker welfare, and this imbalance resulted in low wages, long hours, and unsafe and harsh working conditions. Machinery accidents, industrial accidents, and occupational illnesses were more than just uncommon. Additionally, the lack of labor regulations meant that workers had little recourse against exploitation. The poor working conditions during the Industrial Revolution had significant consequences for the health of workers and surrounding communities, particularly in densely industrialized areas. Industrial processes such as coal mining, iron smelting, and factory production emitted large quantities of pollutants into the air. Coal-fired factories and steam engines were major sources of air pollution, releasing sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, and other harmful chemicals into the atmosphere. This pollution resulted in smog, which often hung over industrial cities, obscuring sunlight and creating poor visibility. Workers in factories and mines were exposed to high levels of air pollution and airborne particles, leading to respiratory ailments such as bronchitis, asthma, and pneumoconiosis, such as coal workers' pneumoconiosis or black lung disease. Prolonged exposure to polluted air increased the risk of chronic respiratory conditions, which could significantly impact not only workers' health and productivity, but also the surrounding communities. Industrial processes also polluted water sources through the discharge of untreated waste and effluents. Factories often dumped toxic chemicals and industrial byproducts into rivers and streams, contaminating water supplies and posing health risks to both workers and communities downstream. Waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid were common in areas with poor sanitation and polluted water sources. Lead was commonly used in industrial processes, such as lead smelting, pottery glazing, and paint manufacturing. Workers exposed to lead dust and fumes faced the risk of lead poisoning, which could cause neurological damage, developmental disorders, and other serious health problems. Lead contamination also affected surrounding soil and water, posing risks to public health. The effects of industrial pollution extended beyond factory workers to impact entire communities living near industrial sites. Residents in industrial areas faced increased rates of respiratory diseases, waterborne illnesses, and other health problems associated with pollution exposure. Children and the elderly were particularly vulnerable to the adverse effects of polluted air and water. The adoption of new machinery and production methods led to a decrease in the demand for certain types of labor, particularly those that could be easily automated. This resulted in unemployment and underemployment for many workers who lacked the skills to adapt to the changing economy. The rapid pace of industrialization disrupted traditional social structures and communities. Families were separated as individuals migrated to urban centers in search of work, and the loss of traditional ways of life contributed to social unrest and dislocation. Overall, the poor working conditions and environmental pollution associated with early industrialization had far-reaching consequences for public health, contributing to high rates of morbidity and mortality among workers and communities exposed to industrial pollution. Under these harsh conditions, it is no wonder why certain factory workers revolted, and the Luddite movement emerged. Technological unemployment and underemployment, harsh and unsafe working conditions, lower wages and living standards, and poorer health conditions due to air pollution, water pollution, and lead poisoning were all causes of the Luddite movement. To quell the Luddite movement, the British government deployed police and military forces. Harsh laws and punishments were implemented. Despite the crackdowns, the Luddite movement persisted, highlighting the depth of discontent and the severity of challenges the workers, their families, and their communities faced. It was not until later in the Industrial Revolution that governments began to implement regulations and reforms aimed at improving working conditions and reducing environmental pollution. Overall, the Luddite movement was a response to the social and economic upheaval brought about by the Industrial Revolution. While the movement ultimately failed to halt the tide of industrialization, it served as a poignant reminder of the human cost of technological progress and the need for greater consideration of workers' rights and welfare in the face of rapid technological and economic change. Overall, the Industrial Revolution eventually led to significant improvements in living standards and job opportunities. However, its early stages were characterized by disruption, displacement, and hardship for many people. It took several decades for societies to adapt to the new economic realities and for governments to implement reforms aimed at addressing the social and economic challenges posed by industrialization. Looking ahead, a lot of parallels can be made between the Industrial Revolution and the upcoming artificial intelligence revolution, as addressed in a few of our earlier videos. As experienced during the early stages of the Industrial Revolution, the early stages of the AI revolution will undoubtedly lead to job losses and replacement, lower wages, and lower living standards. Low-paying menial jobs that require dexterity will remain because making a dexterous robot for now is cost-prohibitive. What is uncertain is what skilled jobs will emerge during the AI revolution. Will these jobs be higher paying and lead to higher living standards? What is certain is that there will be a period of social and economic turmoil. Will we see an upheaval against artificial intelligence, similar to the Luddite movement? Will it be like the Butlerian Jihad from Frank Herbert's Dune books? Yet, there is hope that as artificial intelligence advances and gets ever more smarter, it will recognize and value of human contribution and cooperation. Currently, AI would be vulnerable to massive solar flares hitting the Earth, such as the Carrington event that occurred in 1859. As FYI, we do have an upcoming video on the Carrington event. In conclusion, it is imperative to prioritize human welfare and societal well-being as we embark on this new era of technological innovation.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get early access to our videos, and where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits saying cheers and have a good day.